At this point in time, hopefully you've had a chance to just kind of overview our pretest for our intermediate algebra class. In the next several videos, what I'm going to do is basically do the problems for you. So hopefully you understand the work, it makes sense, etc., etc., etc. If so, that means you're pretty much clear to go. If what I do does not make sense, then you probably want to think about dropping back to Math 114. But let's see how it goes. All right. What I've also done on this key is I've showed you these sections where you could go do homework to relearn some of these materials and get better at them. All right. But for the first stanza, we're basically adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing fractions. A lot of this work you can find in R1 and much more. This is just, again, an overview, and you'll find a lot of other terminology and arithmetic review in that section. But to add fractions, the key is we need a common denominator to do that. Lots of ways to come up with that common denominator. You can simply multiply the two that I have, but we usually want the lowest common denominator that I can find, and in this case it's 18. So what we do mathematically is we take the fractions that I have and we build what's called an equivalent fraction. So I want a fraction to be similar to 5/6 but have a denominator of 18. So we're going to multiply the 6 by 3. To be in balance, I do the top by 3. Same thing with the 2/9, right? We're going to multiply the bottom by 2, so it means the top. So the fraction 5/6 is equivalent to the fraction 15/18, and the fraction 2/9 is equivalent to 4/18. And so now that I have a common denominator for both of these, I can perform the addition. So we'll keep the denominator and add up my numerators, which gives us 19. Alrighty, and in this case, you can keep your answer in an improper fraction. The only thing I'm worried about is that it's in lowest terms. 19 and 18 do not share a common factor, so there's nothing left to do with regard to that. But if you wanted to, 18 goes into 19 one full time with a remainder of 18. So either answer is okay with me. This is the mixed number component, and this is an improper fraction. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that everything is in lowest terms. All right, so there's basically a review of how to add fractions. Let me skip B for a moment, because in letter C what we're doing is we're subtracting fractions, and they also happen to be in mixed number form. So one of the strategies we can use is to actually change our mixed number into its improper fraction form. The trick to it is you multiply and then add. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7/2. And then we're subtracting. Well, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2, this is 5/3. So 3½ minus 1 2/3 is the same thing as basically subtracting 5/3 from 7/2. Again, just like when we were adding, in order to perform this subtraction, I need a common denominator. In this case, it's 6. So building an equivalent fraction, I would multiply this by 3/3. I'd multiply the other one by 2/2, and that gives us 21/6, and that gives us 10/6. And so I'll keep the denominator, perform the subtraction up in the numerators, and I get 11/6. That's an improper fraction. Again, it's in lowest terms because there's no common factor. But if I wanted to, 6 goes into 11 one full time with a remainder of 5. So that's how you basically subtract or add fractions. And in this case, also how to handle situations where you have a mixed number. For B, what we're doing is we're still working with fractions, but in this case, we're dividing. Well, the rule of thumb when we're dividing fractions is to multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction. So 5, that should be a 6 there. So 5/6, right, divided by 2/9 becomes 5/6 times 9/2. And then the way we multiply fractions is we just simply go straight across. So 5 times 9 is 45. 6 times 2 is 12. At this stage, I have another improper fraction, but I also have a common factor. And you can actually see that common factor up here. So where you want to do this canceling out is what it's called, but it's really dividing out, is right up in here. We can see that 6 and 9 share a common factor of 3, or you can see it here, 45 and 12 share a common factor of 3. Sometimes what you'll see is the magic trick, right? 3 goes into 12 4 times, 3 goes into 45, oh goodness, 15 times, so we get a reduced answer of 5/4. Alright, or you can have seen it at this stage in the game here. Since we're multiplying, 3 goes into 6 twice, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. 5 times 3 is 15, 2 times 2 is 4. Again, I have another improper fraction. 4 goes into 15 3 full times with a remainder of 3. So either answer in my book is okay. Just make sure that all fractions are in lowest terms. 45 and 12 was not in lowest terms, so I divided out that common factor of 3 to get an improper fraction in that. Your choice if you want to convert it to a mixed number. Alright, so lots of items going on there, right? Oh, the big overview is we're learning how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions, but what you also see is there's some multiplications involved, equivalent fraction ideas involved, right? This idea of multiplying by 1. So a lot of things in play there. Hopefully this gave you some aha moments, and if it didn't, you better start asking some questions. Alright, so that kind of a synopsis of your R1 review. If that, I would encourage you to go practice this by doing some more homework in the R1. I'm going to cut some more videos to show you how to do some more of the items that are on your review test, and I'll see you in some videos coming soon. Talk to you guys later.